Hi everyone, in this video lecture, we will go through two important reactions of phenol. These are condensation reactions. And we know that when we say condensation reactions, reactants will react, right? And they eliminate a water molecule, right? So these reactions, the first reaction we will go through is phthalene reaction, whereas the second reaction, that is reaction of phenol with formaldehyde, is Lederer-Manasse reaction, right? So both these are condensation reactions where a water molecule would be eliminated, right? And in the second case, when phenol reacts with excess of formaldehyde, right, in presence of an acid or a base catalyst, it forms linear and cross-linked polymers, right? We'll see that in detail, and we'll see the mechanism also for the second reaction, that is reaction with formaldehyde. So first, let's look at the phthalene reaction. We call it as THALEIN, phthalene reaction, right? In phthalene reaction, phenol, right, will react with phthalic anhydride, right, to form phenolphthalein, right? And we have heard the name of phenolphthalein before also, and we know it as a test for acids and bases, right? We know that phenolphthalein turns acids. In acids, phenolphthalein will remain colorless, whereas in basic medium, phenolphthalein will give you pink color. So it is an acid base indicator, basically, right? So here, let's quickly look at the reaction. Right? Let's look at the phthalene reaction first. This is also a condensation reaction, wherein we take phthalic first, these your phenol, two molecules of phenol, like these, like this, will react with phthalic anhydride. We know what are anhydrides by definition, right? When a water molecule is removed, right, from a compound, what you will get is anhydride. So let's see from what compound the water molecule is removed to get phthalic anhydride, just to know about this compound, right? This is your phthalic anhydride. Phthalic anhydride. And these two are two molecules of phenol. And as it is a condensation reaction, so phenol will condense with phthalic anhydride in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid at low temperature. A water molecule would be eliminated, right? Like this. Like this. One oxygen will come from phthalic anhydride, and these hydrogens will come from two molecules of phenol, right? It will form phenolphthalein. This is how it looks like, the formula or the structure of phenolphthalein. C double bond. Just practice how to make these structures. Then you have the second phenol. Right? It's a straight line coming here. And then you have the rest of the molecule. Oh, this is your phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein. Right? And this is an acid base. Just need to know a little about this compound. This is an acid base indicator, right? And it is used in acid base titration reactions. Acid base indicator. And in acidic medium, it remains colorless, whereas in basic medium, it turns pink. right? So this is how it is used to test acids and bases. It's important use. Now let's see how we got this phthalic anhydride. Phthalic anhydride you get from phthalic acid. This is your phthalic acid. Phthalic acid will react to remove a water molecule and it will form phthalic anhydride like this. Right, you have two oxygen here. One oxygen will come here, right? And this has a carbonyl group. Right? So here, water molecule when eliminated from phthalic acid, right? This is your phthalic acid. Right? When water molecule is eliminated from phthalic acid, what you get is an anhydride of phthalic acid. So this is an anhydride of phthalic acid. We call it as phthalic anhydride. Right? I hope this reaction is clear to you. Just remember 2 moles or 2 molecules of phenol condenses with 1 molecule of phthalic anhydride at low temperature in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid to form this phenolphthalein. Right? It is easy to make this structure. Just you know how to make phenol, you know how to make phthalic anhydride now. So you just have to eliminate a water molecule like this, right? And the rest of the structure will remain as it is. This is your phenolphthalein, which is an acid base indicator, very important, right? It remains colorless, phenolphthalein. And firstly, this is a colorless solid, right? It is a colorless solid, which turns pink in basic medium and it remained colorless in acid medium, right? I hope this is clear to you. Now let's look at the second important reaction, which is your Lederer and Mannis reaction of phenol with formaldehyde, condensation reaction of phenol. This is your Lederer and sorry, not like this. Let me rub this. This is your Lederer and Mannis reaction. Right? So let's look at this reaction. Phenol condenses with formaldehyde, right, in presence of a dilute acid or a dilute alkali at low temperature to give P or para. P stands for para hydroxybenzyl alcohol along with small quantity of orthohydroxybenzaldehyde. I'm sorry, orthohydroxybenzyl alcohol. So let me just write it. Then we'll look more on this reaction. So you have phenol molecule. It will condense with formaldehyde in presence of sodium hydroxide or acid HCl to form CH2OH. Right? CH2OH group is introduced at ortho position, and it will also be introduced at para position. Right? So this is your p-hydroxybenzyl alcohol. P-hydroxybenzyl alcohol, right, which is the major product of the reaction, right? And why this is not the major product? Possibly due to crowding, because you have OH and CH2OH close to one another. So this will lead to steric hindrance, right? And crowding occurs. Due to crowding, you have steric hindrance. So this would be less stable, right? And in this case, para isomer, your CH2OH group is far away from OH, right? So this would, you have less crowding, less steric hindrance. So this would be more stable. So it would be a major product. Now let's, okay, if I take excess of formaldehyde, in presence of excess of formaldehyde, this reaction will result into the formation of polymers. Right? We'll look into that, the formation of polymers also with the help of chemical reaction. In presence of, let's write it like this. If you take, say, excess of HCHO, formaldehyde, right? In presence of acid catalyst, in presence of acid catalyst, it will form a linear polymer. It will form a linear polymer named as Novalac. Right? Now, if I take in this reaction, in the same reaction, if we take excess of formaldehyde in presence of a base catalyst, what it forms is a cross-linked polymer this time. In the presence of base catalyst, remember, you get a cross-linked polymer. Cross-linked polymer named as bakelite. Right? So this is a cross-linked polymer, this is a linear polymer, depending on what, if you have an acid catalyst or a base catalyst. And to form these polymers, you need to take excess of formaldehyde, right? So what happens is, generally, when you take, how these polymers get formed, when you take excess of formaldehyde, right, it will lead to the formation of disubstituted and tri-substituted, sorry, it's tri-substituted. It will form disubstituted and tri-substituted products. Like here, you have only mono-substituted product, only one CH2O group. So if you take excess of formaldehyde, CH2OH group would be introduced at ortho position, at all both these ortho positions and para position, right? Like this. It may result into this kind of a, something like this. CH2OH here, CH2OH here, then you have CH2OH here. This represents a tri-substituted product. And if you have two CH2OH, that would be a disubstituted product. So with excess of formaldehyde, right, in presence of acid or a base catalyst, disubstituted or tri-substituted product that will look like this will form. And these disubstituted and tri-substituted product will undergo intermolecular condensation, right, to form polymer, right, which may be bakelite in presence of base or Novalac in presence of an acid, right? So let's first look at the mechanism of this reaction. We'll be looking at the mechanism with this first stage of the reaction, right? So when we talk about mechanism, we look at whether it is an electrophilic substitution reaction or what kind of reaction it is, right? Mechanism of Lederer and Menasse reaction. Lederer and Menasse reaction. So the mechanism of first stage of reaction, that is formation of orthohydroxy methyl alcohol that got formed. This is your orthohydroxy benzyl alcohol, right? Let's look at the formation of this with the help of mechanism. It involves this reaction would be electrophilic substitution reaction. So this involves attack of an electrophile, right, onto the aromatic ring. Would be electrophilic substitution reaction. So we took formaldehyde, right? In presence of the reaction take place between formaldehyde, sorry, the reaction take place between phenol, right, and your protonated formaldehyde in case of acid catalyst, right? In case of acid catalyst, you have hydrogen ions. It will protonate formaldehyde, right? And what it forms is protonated formaldehyde, right? Like this, protonated formaldehyde. It has two resonance forms, right? Now you can see you have a positive charge on carbon atom. So this is an electrophile, right? In the Leather-Arrhenius reaction. Now this CH2OH, you can write it like this, CH2OH, which is an electrophile. It has a positive charge, right? And it will attack the ortho position and para position in phenol molecule, ortho and para positions of phenol molecule. If you remember our previous lectures, your OH group, phenol group, this OH group activates the benzene ring at ortho and para positions, right? At ortho and para positions, it will activate the benzene ring. So basically, this is how an attack will take place. Like this. Here, the aromaticity is lost, right? Because you don't have that localized d electron system when this CH2OH attacked here. So now this will get removed, right? It will regain its aromaticity. When you have aromaticity, that means the compound is more stable. So just remember always this step. Here you have CH2OH. This is how it will form if you have an acid catalyst. This is your acid catalysis. Now, in presence of, in base catalysis, this formaldehyde will attack your benzene ring. The attack would be, the reaction take place between phenol, right? Sorry, the reaction will, in case of base catalysis, the reaction will take place between formaldehyde and your phenoxide ion. This is your phenoxide ion, like this. And it will react with formaldehyde. This is in presence of base when you have OH. So possibly OH will take away the hydrogen atom of phenol to form phenoxide. Now this phenoxide will react with, this phenoxide will react with formaldehyde, right, to form this kind of a product. This will go through this H, and you have CH2O minus. Again, this will get removed. You have double bond here. Three lone pair of electrons. So you have CH2OH. So remember the difference between the two. In presence of acid catalyst, your formaldehyde, right? Acids we know have hydrogen ions. So hydrogen ion will protonate formaldehyde, right? And formaldehyde will form an electrophile which will attack your phenol molecule, right? So reaction is taking place between protonated formaldehyde and phenol to form this compound, orthohydroxybenzyl alcohol. But in case of base, if the catalyst is base, the reaction is taking place between your phenoxide ion, right, and your formaldehyde, right, to form this product. Right. Now, as I said, that if you take excess of formaldehyde, right, a disubstitution and or tri-substituted products will form, which will undergo intermolecular condensation, right, to form polymers. Let's look at the formation of polymers. Right, here it would be formation of polymer. Right, we'll look into the formation of bakelite. So you have OH, phenol molecule. You have formaldehyde in presence of acid or a base catalyst. It will form benzyl, orthohydroxybenzyl alcohol, or orthohydroxybenzyl alcohol. Now, if you take excess of formaldehyde, right, excess of formaldehyde, if you take, then many phenol rings you will see interlinked via methylene groups, CH2 groups, right? This will get formed, right, which will react with your phenol, right? You have OH here and you have H, right? These two will condense, right? A condense, since this is a condensation reaction, so this is how it will condense, right? So you have CH2, then you have this. Right, this is a polymer. Now, if you take excess of formaldehyde, right, with excess of formaldehyde, as I said, you will get disubstituted and tri-substituted products, right? So HCHO, it will further react to form a polymer where different phenol rings, like here, you can see two phenol in this product. If you look at this product, these two phenol rings are linked to one another via this CH2 group, methylene group, right? So when you take excess of formaldehyde, you have CH2OH group here also, CH2OH group here also. So it condenses with these different CH2OH groups will react with phenol molecules and they form an interlinked polymer, right? And it will look like something like this. You can have a small picture of the polymer, right? Like this. Yeah. Right. Now this is also this, like here, these two phenol molecules are linked via methylene. So you have another phenol molecule here like this that would be linked via phenol molecule. So this is how your cross-linked polymer looks like. So here also you have CH2 group, right? And after this, you will again have a phenol molecule, right? This benzene ring, a phenol molecule. So here also you have CH2O, and after this, you will have another this kind of a molecule, right? So this is your polymer, bakelite, right? Where different phenol groups are linked via this CH2, right? So just remember the formation of how to write down how to write down the structure of this polymer. And remember one thing, that when you take excess of formaldehyde, right, you have CH2OH group here, 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 something of this sort, right, which will react in this sort with phenol molecule to form this type of molecule, where the CH2 group is linked to methylene by a condensation, when a condensation reaction took place between your orthohydroxybenzyl alcohol and your phenol molecule, right? So HCHO will react to form this kind of a product, right, where your different phenol rings, right, or phenol molecules are linked via methylene groups, CH2 groups, right? I hope this is clear, right? So in the next video lecture, we'll again look into some more important reactions, Lieberman's nitroso reaction and other reactions. Thanks.